Welcome along to this week's video. If my voice is a little croaky for this week's video, it's because I was at an Oasis concert last night, so apologies for that, but hence the title of this week's video. So, this last week I presented at the #1 fan club parent conference. Great experience, and one thing that I asked the parents to do in that little workshop was write down a question that they want answering from the data that I have. 15 years worth of data, interviews with young players, career trajectory data. What is it that you would want answering? I thought a really good exercise for this video this week would be to pick my way through one of the questions, and it just so happened that it's the one on the top of the pile. We've got a fair few to work through. Perhaps in weeks to come we can look at that, but the question that we're going to look at this week is, how likely can my son go pro without being in a professional football academy? Let's dig into the data. Of the players that were in my study, 303, 56% got professional contracts. Some of those maybe got semi-professional contracts. There's a level where it becomes difficult to ascertain whether it was a pro contract or semi-pro contract. But even let's just say 50%, all right, got a professional contract. None of those were outside the football academy system between the ages of 16 to 18. None of those were outside the football academy system between the ages of 14 and 16. So to answer that question, I would say, based on data, highly unlikely to be outside of the professional football academy system between 14 and 18 and then make it professional. However, there are clearly some exceptions to that. So while I'm saying unlikely, we would never say impossible. So that might lead us to some strategies in what we need to do. First of all, exposure's key. Thriving and playing well is clearly key. And playing against people who are of a good standard is also key to getting noticed. Now, there's a balance between all those three. Number one, it's pointless pushing a kid too high where they aren't thriving, okay, and they go into their shell. It reduces confidence and those sorts of things, okay. You've got to build that confidence and make sure they're thriving. Two, it's no point pushing them too high when the people around them are far better than them. Even if a scout was there, well, they're not going to get picked up anyway. So that's an important thing. And three, the exposure bit is a balance. I do meet people who are driving all around the country to exhibition games. They've been told that a scout's turning up to certain games. It might not be the case. So it is a balance in all those three aspects. But there's another thing I want to address with you on the basis of this question. When a child is young, there are three questions that we need to be asking them. So what we do in the work that I do with parents, and these are the three questions. Number one, why are you playing football? Number two, what is it that you want to get from playing football? And three, what does a professional footballer do? Those are your three questions, right? And I'm going to pick them apart, see how you get on with your son or daughter, because you'd ask them the same thing. Number one, why are you playing football? In most cases, they will say enjoyment. I like doing it. Most cases, they will say I'm good at it. Fewer than you realise will say I want to be a professional footballer. It's okay if they do say that. But actually, this idea of how likely is it to get pro, that isn't the only reason they're playing football. Number two, the second question that we need to be thinking about, what is it you want to get from football? If they start talking about extrinsic rewards, validation from other people, they want the lifestyle that football brings them, that is a slippery slope. Most cases you will find it's actually intrinsic rewards. Again, the enjoyment, the fact that they like scoring goals, the feeling they get of the competitive nature of football and sport generally. They're the things that we want to be getting young kids to focus on, not the extrinsic, materialistic, shiny things. Okay? So, really important to dig down into that question. And 3, what is it that a footballer does? Very few kids under the age of 14 are able to accurately identify what a footballer does. They will think that being a footballer is training in the morning, loads of time off, loads of attention, loads of money. They will think it's meeting adoring fans. They will see the goal celebrations, but they won't see the bit that sits below the surface. Okay, if you imagine the majority of an iceberg sitting below the sea, that's what a footballer does. Dedication, sacrificing things that others are reveling in and enjoying. Clearly, an extreme amount of hard work goes into it. Geographical moves, moving abroad, dealing with abuse, dealing with fans being on your back, dealing with poor performances, the mental strain that getting to an elite level can bring on you. Kids don't see this yet. They're too young. So if they're saying I want to be a pro, and their idea of what a pro is miles off the reality of it, that's an indication that we need to open up conversations. I hope that helps you. How likely is it my son goes pro without being in an academy? Unlikely, but there are other things you can do to help improve those, and it includes those 3 questions I've just mentioned. I will see you again next week. If you enjoyed this content, give it a like. Love you to subscribe, and if you've got questions that you want answering, put it in the comment section below this video and I'll answer those as well.